Good evening, viewers. Welcome once again to Vibe Town Media News. I'm Rabiatu Mohammed. Let's look at our top stories. Ochehene questions Ghana's centralized education system. Whole set for independence celebration. And Parliament passes pension bill. Details of these stories comes up shortly. Now to our first story. Ochehene questions Ghana's centralized education system. Ochehene Osajefo Amwatin Ofrepeni has expressed his concern that Ghana's long-standing centralized education system has been a major factor in the decline of the educational standard. The Achim Abuakwa ruler is worried that if this traditional system is not changed, it may worsen the situation even further.
In a discussion about the creation of secondary education curricula between representatives of the National House of Chiefs and the National Council of Curriculum and Assessment, NACA, Ochehene added, schools are not organized everywhere that I have been. Local schools be in charge of the schools. While you, NACA, are speaking to us here, I have no control over who comes to educate people in Achim after I return home. A system that creates 4.5 million individuals cannot be used when there are 31 million of us. We cannot manage schools in Bolga from Accra while centralizing the government, he added. To support the promotion of high-quality education in the public sector, he further urged educational authorities to increase their investment in the teaching field. The engagement's objectives were to educate Nananom about the school's curriculum, as well as to compile suggestions to aid in the development of the senior high school curriculum and aid in its finalization. Participants agreed after much discussion that Ghana's curriculum needed to undergo significant changes to represent the complexity and speed of societal change today. It was also decided that the senior high school program should include, among other things, instruction in practical education, competencies and skills. Professor Edward Appiah, the Director General of the NACA, thanked Nananom for their dedication to the government's plan for curriculum reform while leading his team to Kumasi.
Away from that story, rebuilt Kumasi Central Mosque given over by Vice President Baumia. The renovated Kumasi Central Mosque was presented to the Mosque Committee by Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia after it was officially opened on March 3, 2023 to March Fanfare. The National Chief Imam, Sheikh Osman Nuhu Shaributu, the Ashanti Hene Otumfo Osei Tutu II, several distinguished dignitaries, including ministers, members of parliament, members of the diplomatic corps, regional imams, zongo chiefs, as well as leading Muslims and Christian clerics, attended the commissioning ceremony.
Before Juma prayers, the Vice President and the Asante Hene gave the mosque its formal commission. The 7,000-seat mosque was quickly full of people praying outside after it was made available to the public. Some of the ecstatic visitors could be seen crying with delight as they marveled at the mosque's incredible beauty as they entered. Vice President Baumia gave a speech during the event in which he said undertook the project to the glory of Allah and thanked God for giving him the fortitude and determination to be able to finance and finish it. As one of the nation's oldest mosques, the Kumasi Central Mosque symbolizes the vision of our forefathers, according to Dr. Baumia, who also expressed his delight at the mosque transformation into a contemporary structure appropriate for Kumasi's position as a renowned city. In addition to the praises, Otumfo Ajiman Prempeh II for his assistance in helping the Muslim community build the first Kumasi Central Mosque, Vice President Bawumia also praised the Menchia Palace and Asanteman for their peaceful coexistence and cooperation with the Muslim community. He also acknowledged the contributions of the Kumasi Central Mosque founding fathers. Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, the Asante Hene, praised Dr. Bawumia for the gift he had provided to all Asanteman as well as Muslim community. Dr. Bawumia had acted responsibly as a son and as a parent. Otumfuo Osei Tutu could not express his gratitude to him enough. He exhorted the Zongo community to look after the mosque and make sure it's always kept in excellent condition. The Kumasi Central Mosque Committee, which is responsible for caring for the mosque, also conveyed their sincere gratitude to Dr. Bawumia for his admirable acts.
To our next story, Parliament passes pension bill. The National Pension Amendment Bill 2021 has been approved by the legislature. The bill's goal is to prevent the Ghana National Fire Service, the Police Service, the Immigration Service, the Prison Service, the Security and Intelligence Agencies, and others from receiving unification benefits. The National Pension Act 2008, Act 766, is being modified by the proposed legislation to exclude the security forces from pension unification process envisioned by Section 213 of Act 766.
On December 10, 2021, the Minister of Employment and Labour Relations read the measure in front of Parliament for the first time. The Committee on Employment, Social Welfare and State Enterprises was given the measure to review and report on. According to a report, the National Pension Regulatory Authority Board was mandated by Section 2 of Section 213 of Act 766 to ensure the unification of all pension schemes and the full operationalization of the three-tier pension scheme for all public sector employees, except the Ghana Armed Forces. The committee observed that to create the necessary technical instruments for the unification, the Ministry of Employment and Labour Relations established a joint technical committee on pension unification process.
To our next story, no new registry for election 2024. For the election in 2024, the Electoral Commission (EC) has declared that it will not create a new registry. Instead, the Commission announced that it will start a year-round limited registration process that would only be open to those who would turn 18 and those who had not previously enrolled to vote.
The EC's chairperson, Jane Mensah, told Daily Graphic that the continuous registration campaign the Commission is implementing should not be interpreted as the creation of a completely new voter list. She pleaded with the general populace to disregard claims made by some people and organizations that the new constitutional instrument, CI, the committee had sent to the Parliament would result in the establishment of a new register. Before the execution of the presidential and parliamentary elections in 2024, the EC presented a CI to Parliament to direct its procedures. The Ghana card will no longer be the only paper required for voter registration under the Public Elections Voter Instrument 2022. Since some eligible Ghanaians still don't have their cards, some people, including the minority in Parliament, have voiced concern that using the Ghana card as the only form of identification would deny them their right to vote. Officials from the EC and the National Identification Authority were called to testify before a special committee of Parliament as a result of these worries regarding the use of the Ghana card for voter registration. Mrs. Mensah advised people whose names were already on the ballot book to avoid the continuous registration process because doing so would compromise double registration, which would result in penalties.
Let's cap it up with our final story, Pose set for Independence Celebration. For information on upcoming Independence celebration on Monday for the 66th Independence Day celebration, All roads would convey to the Volta Regional Youth Resource Center at Adaklo Trefe, close to Ho. Our unity, our strength, our faith is the motto for the major event. Dr. Akibao Diao, the regional minister who has been inspecting the location every week, said everything was ready for the party. The Volta region is ready, he said, expressing satisfactory with the job completed.
Due to increased public interest in seeing the building, the Youth Resource Center has developed into a popular tourist destination. The President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, will attend the anniversary, which is anticipated to draw more than 5,000 people from all over the nation. The event's special guest will be Umaru Sissoko Embalo, President of Guinea-Bissau and Chairman of the Economic Community of West African State, ECOWAS. The celebration is expected to include thrilling cultural performances, a vibrant parade, military exercises, and display of various skills and abilities, including rappelling and acrobatics. 80 members of the diplomatic staff, according to Dr. Lecha, would also join in festivities. 64 officers and 1,042 men from different security agencies, as well as contingents from 7 senior high schools and elementary schools in the whole municipality and the Adaklo district and non-profit organizations will march in the parade. As of last Thursday, Ghanaian flags were hung on utility posts along the road connecting the Adaklo district and Ho, as well as in some of the Adaklo communities' main streets. Whole streets have been thoroughly cleaned, and some businesses and bars have decorated their interiors in the colors of the national flag. The regional minister and the Agbogbo of Asogli, Togbe Afedi, both celebrate their 66th birthday on the same day as the 66th Independence Day. The 66th Artillery Brigade in Ho is in charge of organizing the march past. The regiment reassured the people that it had sent out men in strength to assume control of security during the celebration.
That's all for now. Let's look at our top stories that made the headlines. Ochehene questions Ghana's centralized education system. Parliament passes pension bill. And polls set for independent celebration. Thanks for watching. Do follow us and subscribe to Vibetown Media on YouTube and Facebook. I am Rabiatu Mohammed. Have a wonderful evening.